Welcome, welcome, welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. You can call me High Key. And tonight we are celebrating what is this? Third quarter? First quarter? Oh my gosh. Um this is First quarter. Sorry, first quarter. This is first quarter. It's first quarter moon. I think the moon is in Scorpio right now. Yeah. So, I don't know about y'all, but to me, things have been very emotional. Um, there's like heartbreak energy, but like disappointed kind of energy. Like, you could be disappointed. You could feel like a little disrespected. You could feel misunderstood. You could feel just exhausted, kind of drained a little bit. Right now, the moon, like I mentioned, is in Scorpio, but will be transitioning, excuse me, to a full moon in Pisces in about a week. And so, first quarters are usually when we start to feel the challenges of our new beginning. You start to feel maybe like some resistance. You may start to come into your first set of obstacles or hurdles that you kind of have to get over to get to like the next level. And so, the way that the sky is set up right now, I just see a lot of chaos and confusion is coming more into like clarity, like it's coming more into view. There's going to be better understanding, less confusion. You could be sharing a story. You could be feeling liberated from someone else's story. Someone could be sharing a testimony. You could be sharing a testimony, but there's some kind of like freedom, liberation, clarity, like elevation, like light work, releasing. There's some type of purging that's happening right now. And so it's like the chaos and confusion is like being cleared away. So you could find yourself kind of being a little, I don't want to say isolated, but just kind of to yourself, or like just chilling, not doing too much, kind of chilling. You might be home, or you might just be kind of in and out, or like out and in, like you're not doing too much. There is, I'm not even gonna hold it. I have to, I don't know why I do this, but we're gonna ground in a couple seconds. But Mars is in Libra, so there's some judgment, justice to be paid. Like there's definitely somebody's taking action in justice, balance. You know what I mean? So Mars is definitely a planet that comes to make changes, rapid, quick, fire ass up kind of changes. And being in Libra could just have some pretty big consequences. I also see karma. I can't even fake that. The moon being in Scorpio also could be just kind of exposing some emotions. If you're gifted or you share your gifts with people, you could be feeling some of that emotion, like the collective emotion. Yeah, there is sadness, of course. We have war going on, more than one war, and there's definitely, like I said, like a disappointment more. So it's like people are needing people to maybe be more human, or just show up better for humans. So if that resonates, you might be in the right place. I'll go through the rest of the planets, but there's definitely an energy, there's a shifting. We're kind of clearing out what's no longer for our best and highest good, what's not serving our souls, our spiritual growth. Okay, we're getting clarity on what's not in alignment. All right, let's just go ahead and take a few moments to ground our energy by just taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, long exhales out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just allow your body to relax. Allow your shoulders to feel soft. Allow your hands to feel heavy. You can let your palms face towards the sky if you are in a position and ready to receive. But if you would like a little more groundedness and just a moment to kind of balance your energy, you can allow your palms you can allow your palms to rest on your knees gently, face down, palms facing down. And just allow yourself to breathe. Just take a moment to just reconnect to the breath. Without breath, we're not living. And oftentimes, we can lose our breath. Sometimes in good ways, but oftentimes, our breath escapes us from stress. We could tend to hold our breath. Sometimes we could even breathe harder, faster when we're stressing. And just taking a moment to reconnect to our breath with just 3 intentional breaths. And of course, you can take as many as you need. But just allow yourself to reconnect to the breath and just be thankful for the air that's in your lungs. Thankful that you are free to breathe. Thankful that you can take this moment to yourself and just be still. To be present, fully present. Not thinking about the past. Not being too far into the future, but really taking a moment right now to just be thankful to be able to take 3 intentional breaths. Just allow yourself to feel free. No judgment, no criticism. We find ourselves thinking, just label it as thinking, and just bring your awareness back to your breath. It's a good time to recognize that our breath is always here for us. It's always here for us to slow down, to slow things down. It's always here for us to reconnect. It's always here for us to just take a moment to be present. Recognizing that the gift is in the now. And we'll go ahead and set the intention to call in our spirit teams of divine love and healing light. closest and connected to the sun, the Most High, God, Source, the universe, the Creator, the Almighty. Calling in our spirit teams, archangels, ascended masters, guardian angels, ancestors of divine love and healing light. We call you in as we set the intention tonight to allow God's creation to speak to us, to download the messages that are for our best and highest good, to move us forward on our path, taking steps to gain more and more peace and prosperity with each step forward. And we set our intentions to balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. We thank you, Mother Earth, for always being our source of grounding. We feel safe, secure, connected, protected, fully supported. In the name above all names, it is done. Amen. And when you're ready, you can slowly bring your awareness back to the room. All right. So I was talking about like heartbreak. I definitely get like a heartbreaking, like a disappointing kind of energy. Disappointing. There's cycles coming to a close. So we're actually moving into eclipse season. So we have 2 eclipses in the month of September. One is on the 7th. That will be during the full moon in Pisces. And then there's another one on the 21st. And that will be during the new moon in Virgo. Mutable signs could definitely be feeling this energy. That's Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius. Mutable signs typically represent, initiate change. They're adaptable. The North and South nodes are also in Pisces and Virgo, respectively. Sun, of course, is also in Virgo. Happy birthday to all the Virgos out there. And so, as I mentioned, when this full moon comes around, it'll be in Pisces. We'll have one of the planets is actually going into retrograde back into Pisces as well. So let's just kind of pull out our Orline astrology planner. And if we just kind of go to the month of September, so this upcoming week, I don't know if I'll go into the aspects tonight, but we do have Saturn shifting into Taurus. No. Yeah. Is that Saturn? That is Saturn. Yeah. So Saturn will be moving into Taurus. Hold on the 1st of the month. this right? I don't feel like this is right. Saturn has a pretty long transit. Oh, well, no, this is right. So Saturn is currently in Aries in retrograde. He's going to be shifting into Taurus. Interesting. So Saturn will shift into Taurus on the 1st of the month. It just doesn't seem like Saturn's moving that fast. The 1st of the month is in a couple of days, and this is showing me that Saturn is in Aries at 0 degrees. How'd that work? I'm not seeing something. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I don't know if this is a typo, but we're gonna figure it out before we get done. Anyway, we also have Mercury shifting into Virgo on the 2nd of this month. And then Uranus, who is currently in Gemini, will go into retrograde on the 5th. Okay? He'll go into retrograde in Gemini, and then he'll stay in retrograde and then end up shifting into Taurus in November. And he'll stay in retrograde in Taurus until February of 2026. Okay? And then he won't go back again direct until April, where he should go back into Gemini, where he'll shift back into Gemini. So that's what's happening for the next 7 days. Well, if we count, we'll have a moon celebration for the full moon, which will have this total lunar eclipse as well. So all this energy, let me double check this whole Saturn situation. I think this is a typo. Like, what the crap? It's not the first time that I've come across like a, I feel like, hold on 1 second. I may have to, so on the 1st, I knew it. Saturn retrograde enters Pisces. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew it. This is a typo. I am not trying to put anybody on blast, but this is not the first time. I really have to get in touch with Miss Alina at Oraline, because this is not the first mistake. Let me see what my calendar says. It says Saturn shifts into Taurus. That's wrong. Saturn on the 1st of the month, maybe the 2nd, depending on where you are in the world. Saturn is currently in retrograde in Aries, and will go retrograde or shift back into Pisces on the 1st of the month, 1st or the 2nd of the month. Let me put this on my local time zone. So I don't know. I will say that I do agree that Mercury will shift into Virgo. Okay, Mercury is currently in Leo. And then Uranus will go into a retrograde, who is currently in Gemini. I know that that is correct. I am not sure how this typo happened right here, but that's actually the typo that I'm talking about with this Saturn retrograde going into Pisces versus what I'm seeing here is actually happening on Labor Day, which is a U.S. holiday, kind of closing out the summer, right? Pools close and just kind of we get back into a rhythm, back into a flow, back into work, back into school, right? So we're getting back into a routine. So the energy to me is, like I said, it's shifting. It could feel a little chaotic. It could feel like a little confusing when it comes to like communication or information that you could be reading, information that you could be receiving. But I do get like a confirmation that the clarity will come. The clarity will come like sooner than later. I say like we be prepared to just not focus on the outcome. Focus on what you're being called to do. You're being called to get back into routine. Focus back on work. Focus back on your money. Like basically working the earth. It could be literal. You could be in the outdoors. You could be camping. You could be exercising. You could be working the soil. You could be out in your yard. You could be doing things for some type of fall harvest. But it's definitely a reminder for us to get back into a rhythm, a routine. Okay. There is heavy communication, coming through. There's like a shift in communication, but it may come off kind of confusing or chaotic at first, but it will, as you like move through the energy, it'll become clearer and clearer. I was saying to not focus on the outcome and focus on just your work, like showing up for yourself, being present, focusing on like your goals, like what you have and want to accomplish for yourself. Some people could be going back to school. Some people could be writing. Some people could be journaling. Some people could be reading. Maybe there's something that you want to finish. But I'll say this. When it comes to clearing out, purging, closing cycles, this Saturn in retrograde, Neptune in retrograde, Chiron in retrograde are all, even Pluto is in retrograde. All of that energy is supportive of helping us to close out cycles. Okay, these are generational, societal planets. They carry a shift in energy of the collective. That's why I said if you are gifted or you're really tapped in and tuned in, or you use your gifts to love on people or to encourage and uplift people or to help people grow, be accountable, or get to the next level in their life, you could be feeling the energy of like the disappointment, the disheartening of people. Maybe even like hardened hearts and cold hearts. I do think that there is some awakening, like some people are starting to crack open some of their wounds, starting to, just like I said, become more human, becoming more compassionate. A lot of times people have a hard time being compassionate to others because we have a hard time being compassionate towards ourselves. So all of our relationships are reflections, right? So a lot of times, yeah, there could be a lot of projection going on. But oftentimes we are hard on ourselves or we feel less than. And sometimes we can throw that energy onto someone else to make us feel bigger or better about ourselves. Okay, if we're not feeling our best or we're feeling pretty low. With Venus and Mercury in Leo, that's where I get that loving, kind of like talk, communication. Someone could be making things clear, just kind of clearing the air, or like getting something off their chest. Or you could be feeling that energy. Okay. Mercury will be moving into, Mercury will be moving into Virgo. And so that Mercury shifting into Virgo gives me like more, it could be learning something new at work. It could be educating yourself on your next goal or what you want to accomplish. You may be making a list. You might be just kind of getting things more organized when it comes to how you work or your work ethic, okay, or your work habits. This is a time where we're being called to push through some of the obstacles, hurdles, challenges that we may face when it comes to us being more consistent. Maybe releasing some perfectionism and just kind of being okay and present with progress, like giving ourselves credit for how far we've come and not beating ourselves up because we maybe think we haven't reached the goal, or maybe we think that we're behind or we're moving too slow, or we just really being present and being thankful for what we have accomplished. That's what I see. We do have Jupiter in Cancer. That energy, I stutter because to me, it's a very loving, nurturing, I want to say motherly, but not even just like motherly, more like a parental, like protection kind of energy. That's what it says to me. But I also can see Jupiter in Cancer being a place of growth for like self-worth, recognizing like your own resources, recognizing what you're good at, what you bring to the table, what you can do, what you can offer. Like you could be in a space where you're like, you know your worth, you're recognizing your worth, and you're realizing as we're shedding and clearing out all the stuff that doesn't align or it doesn't work, it's like it's allowing us to expand and grow or make space for what is. And I see it in love and communication. And then I also see it like with this Venus energy, I see it in money as well. You know, Jupiter is going to bless us with that Cancerian energy. It could be emotional, you know, I mean, that's what it is. But it's beneficial, it's supportive. It's not chaotic. You know, it's kind of grounding in a way. All right. I don't know if I want to go into the aspects. Oh, look. Oh. What? Look. That's completion right there, baby boo. Divine completion. I said I was going to take a picture. Come on, focus. Hey. Maybe I'll make this my, All right. It's 12:12. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for divine completion, divine intervention, divine timing. There's like, even with these planets, like I said, those generational planets, they give me divine divinity because they're so far out. They're like connected to like the ethers, and so they carry a very spiritual essence with them, especially Neptune, even Saturn. Saturn has that infinite, what goes around comes around, like karmic planting seeds, dharma kind of energy. Like Saturn is a very disciplined planet. So Saturn comes with discipline, right? And so when we stand for something, then we stand for something. We don't fall for anything. And Saturn definitely allows us to kind of stand a certain ground. So we're being supported in that area. Neptune definitely has that intuitive, spiritual, wise kind of energy. Okay. And then Pluto, of course, is a transformation planet altogether. Death and rebirth, putting things to bed, ending things, long cycles, and all of these planets are in retrograde. So big time of reflecting on generational patterns, generational wounds, could be societal, could be family, just kind of clearing out what's not working. Okay. Just know that you're being supported with these things being completed. So set your attentions around what you want to release, what you want to let go of. Think about the obstacle and the hurdle that's in front of you right now, and the freedom that you'll have when it's removed. It will open up your path. It will allow you to make room. It will allow you to move forward. Allow yourself to carry that energy and set that intention as we usher in this full moon. This is going to be a big one with the eclipse. So September is going to be a ride. There is quite a bit happening in the sky for September. I believe Mercury will shift again into the next sign this month, or in September. Yeah, I think that's about it. I kind of went through the planets and what the energy is saying. Let's see what the cards are saying. So we'll start with our lovely Moonology deck, like we always do. Like we always do at this time. I go for mine. I got to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. So if you are a mutable sign, let me know where you're from. Let me know if this is resonating for you. Let me know what you want to release. Like, go ahead and set the intention. Drop it in the comment. I like to know who is in alignment with the channel, who is in alignment with the messages that we're receiving. Just kind of helps us to kind of stay connected. Wow. In that energy. So we have 3. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. I think this came out last time. Full moon in Aquarius. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. I think this came out too. It might have been on the bottom of the deck. That's crazy. Luck is on your side. And then a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. We were just kind of talking about this. Like, things are getting closed out to make room for what is in alignment. These eclipses are going to reveal a lot. So be ready. I'm getting a lot of balance here, a lot of crown chakra, upper chakras kind of energy. Just being called to use our wisdom, our intuitive abilities, using discernment. That's for everyone. That's not just for feminines. That's for masculines too. Masculines also carry discernment, wisdom, intuition. It's a way for them to balance out their masculine energy, to be able to tap into their like hidden gifts, not necessarily being very visual or physical or focused on the physical realm, but to be able to kind of see behind the veil, to be able to see beyond the pretty face, right? To see what's really going on. So that's an encouragement for masculines to put their crown on and show up as the king that you are. You know, not a mad king, not a king with king's disease, but a true king. A king that is respected, revered, loved, adored. He could be looked up to. He could be a great role model. But there's definitely a seeking balance with the arrow on the new moon in Sagittarius, and then the Libra scale on the new moon in Libra, and then that Aquarius energy too is that opening ourselves up, like showing the world the real you, like not hiding behind anything, a mask, being in the dark, closed doors. Yeah, bottom of the deck, the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Look at that. How about it? I was just talking about, we're going to, these eclipses are going to purge and show us some clarity. It's going to balance things out. You got the twins here, right? You got show the world the real you with the full moon in Aquarius with the water. Aquarius is the water barrier, but they're not a water sign, they're an air sign, right? So we'll have a full moon in Aquarius. We actually just had one. Yeah, we just had one. You could be also maybe tapping in or being encouraged to tap into some of your shadow work, or like your South Node energy. Like, what do you have to work through? What do you have to evolve from? Like, what cycle are you breaking? That's kind of confirming the message to set intentions around what we want to release under these eclipses. Like, to be intentional with releasing, letting go. Maybe there's something that stops you from being the real you, or showing the real you, showing the world the real you. That's a message that I could receive. And then we, like I said, we also have these two new moons. So new, like new energy, right? We got two new moons. We got the scale in Libra, and we got the bow and arrow, or the archer in Sagittarius. Sorry, you can't see the bottoms, but I just see balance. I see 2 by 2. I see alignment. I see wisdom. I see protection. I see love. I see clarity. Like, this is all good energy. And then, of course, like I said, the answers you need are coming. So, mutable signs, air signs, definitely could be feeling this energy where you could right now feel a little drained. You could feel a little emotional. You could feel a little disappointed, maybe even heartbroken. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. You're being supported. You're being encouraged to keep moving forward, to not look back, and to trust your gut. Trust your intuition. Use discernment. It is not cool to be dumb. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what that is. That's interesting, but we are making it cool to be stupid. People, I guess if you don't care, you're cool. Like, it's interesting. How about I just turn to a new romantic cycle begins? So I'm going to go ahead and read that one. That was the third card that we got. So, a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you and for someone else. A new relationship could be beginning. And if that's the case, the chances are this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Maybe taking things slow. Avoid being selfish. It won't get you anywhere at this time. Attune to the moon. Reach out to someone and let them know you care. Additional meanings for this card. Feel more, think less. Marriage or engagement is on the cards. A legal matter will go your way. Pay some attention to your appearance, but don't be all about appearances. The teaching. Libra is the sign of love and harmony, negotiation and relationships. It is harmonious, kind, and luxurious, and always aiming for balance. So when we have the new moon in Libra, or at any time you draw this card, there's a restart possible for anything and everything connected to partnerships, negotiations, appearances, and justice. Remember that Libra is depicted by a set of scales. This energy wants to bring things back to equilibrium. So listen, I just had these two cards up here talking about alignment, 2x2 pairs, as it confirms here. Also like a new beginning, new relationship, something new. I was talking about the heart space, maybe being disappointed with heartbreak and allowing that to make space and make room for what's next. But definitely about coming together, marriage and engagement, feeling more, thinking less, kind of balancing that logical mind, balancing it out with that heart space, allowing our minds and hearts to be in balance and in agreement. So heavy push towards balance. So you could be being encouraged to balance things out. You could be seeing 222, 2222 quite a bit. Okay. Let's read. Luck is on your side definitely came out last time. And I think Show the World the Real You did too. And I don't recall reading that one. So I'm not mad that we get the confirmation or another chance to hear the message. And I hope that, if you're having trouble with I don't want to say sticking to the message, but staying disciplined, maintaining your boundaries, maintaining your calm, focusing on your peace. If that's hard, I suggest gratitude. I suggest being thankful that you were protected from some things. Be thankful that people walked away, people rejected you, people didn't see your worth, you know what I mean? So that you could see it and you could attract those who can appreciate it, see it and appreciate it. Okay, we're definitely moving into spaces of where we'll be loved and appreciated and not tolerated and disrespected. Okay. Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. All right. This card brings the message from the cosmos that you need to detach a little from whatever situation you're asking about. Someone might be keeping you at arm's length now, but it's no bad thing. It's important for you to allow life to unfold and progress, even if change seems like a frightening prospect. If you've been holding yourself back from showing the world the real you, this card reminds you that your unique characteristics are what make you special. In a relationship Are you being too aloof or detached? Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up for you. Attune to the moon. Be aware of your feelings, but also be prepared to move on. Additional meanings for this card. Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you. Be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. The teaching. Every full moon is a time to release and let go. But the addition of Aquarian energy to the mix triples that message. Aquarius is the opposite of clingy, and pulling this card at any time suggests either you need to let go or someone is thinking they are the ones who need to let go, perhaps of you. What needs to go? What is the right thing to do? Whatever happens next could be highly unconventional or unexpected. I'm here for it. I'm here to bring the drama. I'm not here to bring drama. I don't need no drama. I like peace and prosperity. Okay. And love and abundance and all those things of good news. But you see, the energy when it was talking about detaching, but this card was talking about how we may need to express ourselves or let somebody know that you care. So it's like, I was like, here we go with that confusion. But the clarity is, are we being too aloof or are we being too detached? Are we balancing it out? And it's like, recognize how you feel. Remember I was talking about balancing the mind and the heart. That's also that 2x2 energy. I believe that's an affirmation that I use when I see 222 is thank you for alignment and thank you for mind and heart alignment or agreement, because those are the two that we really needed to be in agreement to move forward. If our minds and hearts aren't in agreement, maybe we need to sit still for a second and put some healthy boundaries in place. Boundaries just allow us to love ourselves while we can still love others or love someone else. Maybe, sometimes it's good to love certain people at certain times from a distance. Sometimes you can't love someone up close. They may not be ready to, or they may be fighting it, or you just may not be in a space where you can give them what they need, and vice versa. But this unexpected turn, that's eclipse energy. Even these cards, even though these are new moons, they give eclipse. And we got 2 of them, and we have 2 in September. I'm just thankful for the confirmation. So this is going to be very to the point. Okay. We've gotten a message of progress, like moving forward. We've gotten a message of completion. We've gotten a message of like being in our heart space, balancing our mind and our heart space. And that something unexpected and unconventional is happening. So that would show the world the real you. Now let's read. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sag. Luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Come on. Anyway. Whatever is coming your way, it looks set to put a smile on your face. The new moon in Sagittarius can mark the restart of fun after a period of feeling low. The energy is adventurous and even willing to take a few risks. But be careful you don't bet the farm on something here, as the wheel of fortune is still spinning. This card is about exploring life metaphorically by exchanging big ideas with others, or just thinking about your own philosophies. Perhaps it's time to change your mind about something important. It can also signal that a trip away is coming up, if that's something you're working to achieve. But the overall message of this card is that whatever happens next will be some sort of gift. even if that simply means widening your worldview. Count your blessings, literally. Write them down or say them out loud. I literally just said, if you're having trouble with this energy, to give gratitude. Additional meanings for this card. You need to laugh more. This is a wonderful time to start a course of teaching or study. Don't be narrow-minded. Start a week of gratitude practice via Facebook, a journal, or blog. The teaching. Sagittarius is the sign of fun, travel, exploration, and the great cosmic quest. It's the sign of big ideas. Its energy is expansive, upbeat, lucky, and divine. The new moon in Sagittarius exudes all this. As does this card whenever you draw it. Nothing is set in stone with Sagittarius, and an optimistic energy could attract all manner of good things if you tap into the energy by expecting the best. Speaking of nothing being set in stone, look at this. So we had this on the bottom, right? The answers you seek are coming. And look, I looked, what does that say? Nothing, damn it. Nothing is yet set in stone. Oh, why is it? Nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. And Gemini right here. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Sagittarius is even a mutable sign, also sister sign to Gemini. So this is, like I said, this is very straight to the point. So we have the energy and confirmation of like definitely moving forward, definitely staying connected and tapped in. But the Wheel of Fortune is still spinning. So things are still balancing out. So I say give it through the end of the year. Don't be focused on the outcome that you're looking for. Just focus on what's in front of you. Focus on the present moment. Focus on your next goal. Focus on what you want to achieve. This is how we break cycles and defeat demons that are not serving us or not for our best and highest good. Anything that is blocking, anything that's in the way, this is how we exercise our faith and we get delivered. We unalive demons and we move forward. We elevate. They become our stepping stools. Okay. Big generational, like, curse breaking type of energy. Confirmation of giving gratitude. Okay. What's coming up next? It definitely an unexpected energy. Unexpected energy is out here heavy. Laughing more. That's another confirmation. So go watch you a funny movie. You know what I mean? Go look at something that makes you laugh out loud. Like, enjoy yourself. You know, laughter is good for the soul. It adds life to our it adds years to our life, rather. All right? Be optimistic. Be adventurous. Don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to have fun. Fun came up for me earlier today as well. And this energy, so there could be something significant about Sag season. But like I said, that's the end of the year. So let go of the outcome. Release the need to know. Walk into the unknown. Call in your strength, your gratitude, your faith, and walk into the unknown. You're going to have a blessing that's going to be like the wind in your back, that's going to propel you forward. Okay? Trust it. But we're going to have to get through September and then the end of the year. So fourth quarter, There could be some work, but this energy is here for what we need. This energy is here to support us through our challenges because it's going to give us what we need, not necessarily what we want. Sometimes we don't always have the best intentions or can't make the best decisions for ourselves oftentimes. So when these energies shift, they're here to support us with what we need next, or what's preparing us for the next level. Now, if you're someone who's okay and comfortable and you're in a cycle, or some people do remain stuck, and some people are okay with being stuck because they can't get out of their own way. But if you're comfortable in a space where you're still developing and growing, but you're comfortable, the energy could just be, confirming for you to stay the course. Continue to do your practices, continue to give gratitude, journal, blog, whatever it is that you're doing, teaching, studying, to continue to stay that course. And if the energy is kind of feeling a little bit of a challenge, just recognize that you have something to look forward to on the other side of it, but just to try to make it your business, okay? To be intentional with staying present and giving gratitude and disconnecting from the outcome. That's it. Stepping into the unknown. All right. I'll go ahead and do a soul's journey before I do the angel number. So we'll do this deck here, soul's journey. I have another deck in mind, but I have to get up to get it from over there. But I think I'm going to do a love message after this. I think it's necessary with what my cards are saying. But, yeah. Okay. All right, we got courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. That's it. That's faith. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. I mentioned strength earlier as well. Not being a wuss, not being a punk, not being a sucker. Like, this kind of gives me Leo. This kind of gives me Leo energy too. Courage, pride. So some of us could be kind of lowering our egoic pride, being more courageous when it comes to being more human, being more compassionate, more understanding, tapping more into our heart space, how we feel, just balancing it out, not being too far in any direction, balancing it out. So we're being called to be confident. And then look, surrender. I can release my need to control on the bottom. And that's what this is about. You can't have faith when you're trying to control everything. God cannot do what God has to do in your life when you're trying to control everything and you're not tapped in. Okay? That's so exhausting. You can't control everything. You damn sure can't. You can't control nobody but yourself. That's it. But there's a surrendering to the divine here. There's a surrendering, a giving up, like giving up the ghost, like trusting the process. Having the courage to trust the process. Having the courage to surrender. So let's read courage, and then we'll pull some angel numbers and wrap it up. Courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. You need to remind yourself that part of the challenge of being a soul is learning to honor your own power by listening to your inner voice and following its advice. But by listening to your inner voice and following its advice, you are acknowledging the perfection of your intuition. Fear is only an illusion, and obstacles are great opportunities for you to demonstrate that coming from a place of love will conquer all of fear's disguises. Perhaps you are changing career paths or entering or exiting a relationship. This test has been put before you because it is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you and only you can make the correct decision. By not taking that step forward, you may find yourself 2 steps back, only to face that same obstacle again. Mic drop. Part of the challenge of being a soul is to learn and honor our own power. Listening to our inner voice, our discernment, following its advice, perfecting our intuition. Fear is an illusion. Obstacles, which is coming with this first quarter moon. Obstacles are great opportunities for you to demonstrate that coming from a place of love will conquer all of fear's disguises. So love sets things free, right? Love doesn't bind you. Love doesn't break you down. Love doesn't put you in prison. Love sets you free. Love uplifts. Okay? Love encourages. Love wants you to be happy. Love wants you to grow. Love wants you to expand, just like this Jupiter in Cancer. Love wants you to be great. Love does not want to hold you back. Love does not want to put you in a cage. Love does not want to shackle you. Love wants to set you free. Love wants to love you. This test has been put before you because it's an opportunity, thank you for the confirmation, to prove to yourself that you and only you can make the correct decision. Like I said, you can only control you, right? We can only control ourselves. But by not taking that step forward, by not making the correct decision, you may find yourself 2 steps back, only to face that same obstacle again. I'm sure a lot of us have been through some things more than once, and we might know some folks who might be still going through things more than once. Some people, most honestly, will stay there. They will continue to go in circles and cycles because that is what they're supposed to show the rest of us not to do. Maybe that's their purpose in that particular space, that particular area. Maybe it's multiple areas for some people where they'll stay stuck. However, when we get tired of our own stuff, we get tired of ourselves, we get tired of sabotaging ourselves, going against ourselves, not loving ourselves, settling, not staying true to who we are, not trusting our discernment, not trusting our gut, not trusting our intuition, and we end up in these cycles where we have to keep learning certain lessons. And sometimes those lessons get harder and harder because we keep missing the lesson. We keep missing the message. We keep not applying it. I'm not going to say anything else. Let's go to the angel numbers. Bruh. Oh my gosh. You have got to be kidding me. I'm trying to tell y'all, I cannot make this stuff up. Look at this. 12/21. Came out last time. 12/21. initiative. 0606 commitment. I think this came out recently too, but I have to double check when. Okay. And 2121. Energy levels. So we got to get the message. We got to get the message. We got to get the message. A lot of purple out here. Look at this. Look at this. If that ain't into intuition, discernment, all the things, I don't know what is. Wisdom, crown, like hold your head high. And then these cards. 1221, taking initiative. Change, optimism. We're talking about that with that Sag energy. Joy, communication, messages, good news, expression, high vibes. Okay? Like everything we talked about. Work with what you have, and it will get you places. Count your blessings and acknowledge your dear ones. You will find inspiration and figure out a way forward. You might also be getting some good news soon. Good news confirmed twice here, 3 times in the message altogether. Some unexpected good news. That gives me like Saturn energy. Uranus, but because Uranus is kind of surprising, but Saturn will come and sneak up on you too. 0606 commitment, loyalty, responsibility, truth, love, light, spiritual realm, growth, solutions. Applying honesty and light daily as a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. Applying honesty and light daily is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. Honesty and light daily, boo, is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. It's how you find solutions and comfort. Release worries by speaking your truth and expressing emotions regularly. Open up for the best is yet to come. 2121 energy levels. Prosperity, harmony, journey, waiting, discipline. Exaggeration, the opposite sex. That day you're waiting for will come. Maintain discipline. You're getting closer to your end goal. There's no need to overextend yourself. Guard your energy to remain focused. It will pay off. It's a climb, not an elevator ride. Trust in you. Listen. We know what to do. Keep moving forward. Focus on your goals. Stay disciplined. 10 toes down. Grounded. Stay positive. Go towards what gives you good news, peace, optimism, joy. What keeps you in high vibes. Okay? Stay committed to yourself. Don't sabotage yourself. Okay? Surrender. Trust the process. Have courage. Be confident. Okay? Show the world the real you. Be ready for something new. You've already made room. You're going to get unexpected answers, unexpected clarity. I said that at the beginning. Don't forget about your heart space. Recognize that your heart is the bridge to balancing your upper and lower chakras. Blocking off your heart space blocks off your abundance. Blocking off your heart space blocks off your intuitive gifts, your discernment. So you can't see beyond the physical. Okay? I think we all know, like, we have to have balance in that. Let's see what's on the bottom. 2323, endless cycles. charisma, communication, society, movement, journey, repetitive circumstances, and patterns. There's some truth you're resistant to accept over and over again until you're tired and restrained beyond depression. It takes a decision to live life for yourself. Life is all about passion. Then you make a change and the world around you follows. That's the bottom of the deck. Oops. Okay. 0505. Unexpected shift. Divine intervention, sudden challenges, love, pleasant surprises, gut feeling. AA. This number serves as a gentle nudge to pursue whatever interests you most. It's possible that something could rock your boat, but you'll end up exactly where you belong, which could be in somebody's arms, your dream job, or abroad, etc. You could be traveling. I know I'll be traveling soon, going on a retreat. I'm so excited about that. All right, I hope this message resonated. If it did, please let me know in the comments where you're from and what part resonated mostly for you. And I guess one of the biggest things is what you're going to do. Like, what are your action items after hearing this message? What are you going to do to enhance your intuition or trust it more? Are you going to do gratitude, a gratitude challenge or journaling? Will you be more open with your emotions? Maybe you journal more about your emotions. Are you going to surrender, release control, recognize the areas that we may be kind of obsessed with an outcome? Okay, what is it that we need to accept the truth of? Is something over that we need to accept being over? What do we need to take initiative on? Like I said, this resonates for me for sure. Okay, all right. I love you, but God loves you more. Always go within so you never go without. And over here, we stay connected to the ones who sit high, look low, and see everything. Thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night. And I'll see you next week.